Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaura,
Hari Hari
Hari Hari.
Bol. So wonderful.
Hari. Harbol, welcome Kala, Prabhuji, Harbol,
Harbo. Hare Krishna.
welcome to the party.
Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. We're just picking up 1-3-14. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay. Please repeat if you would like. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Oh, Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Oh, Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayat. Shrinvatam swakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana. Hridyantasto yabhadrani vidyunoti suhritsatam. Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Alright. Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Text 14. Rishabir yachito bheje navamam bhartivam vapuhu. Dugdhe mam moshadhir vipras tenayam sau sattamaha. O Brahmanas, in the ninth incarnation, the Lord prayed for by the sages, accepted the body of a king, Prithu, who cultivated the land to yield various produces. And for that reason, the earth was beautiful and attractive. Purport. Before the advent of King Prithu, there was a great havoc of maladministration due to the vicious life of the previous king, the father of Maharaj Prithu. The intelligent class of men, namely the sages and the brahmanas, not only prayed for the Lord to come down, but also dethroned the previous king. It is the duty of the king to be pious and thus look after the all-around welfare of the citizens. Whenever there is some negligence on the part of the king in discharging his duty, the intelligent class of men must dethrone him. The intelligent class of men, however, do not occupy the royal throne because they have much more important duties for the welfare of the public. Instead of occupying the royal throne, they prayed for the incarnation of the Lord, and the Lord came as Maharaj Prithu. Real intelligent men, or qualified brahmanas, never aspire for political posts. Maharaj Prithu excavated many produces from the earth, and thus not only did the citizens become happy to have such a good king, but the complete site of the earth also became beautiful and attractive. Rupam sajagrihe machyam chakshushodari samplave navyaropya mahimayam apadvaivasvatam manum. When there was a complete inundation after the period of the Chakshusha Manu, and the whole world was deep within water, the Lord accepted the form of a fish and protected Vivasvat Manu, keeping him up on a boat. Purport. According to Sripad Sridhar Swami, the original commentator on the Bhagavatam, there is not always a devastation after the change of every Manu. And yet this inundation after the period of Chakshusha Manu took place in order to show some wonders to Satyavrata. But Sri Jiva Goswami has given definite proofs from authoritative scriptures like Vishnu Dharmottara, Markandeya Purana, Harivangsha, and so on, that there is always a devastation after the end of each and every Manu. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti has also supported Srila Jiva Goswami, and he, Sri Chakravarti, has also quoted from Bhagavatamrita about this inundation after each Manu. Apart from this, the Lord, in order to show special favor to Satyavrata, a devotee of the Lord, in this particular period, incarnated himself. All right. So the final verdict is, after every Manu, there is a devastation. Text 16. Sharasharanam udadhim matnata mandarachalam tadreka matarupena prishta ekadashe vibhuhu. The 11th incarnation of the Lord took the form of a tortoise whose shell served as a pivot for the Mandarachal hill, which was being used as a churning rod by the theists and atheists of the universe. Purport. Once both the atheist and the theist were engaged in producing nectar from the sea so that all of them could become deathless by drinking it. At that time, the Mandarachal hill was used as the churning rod, and the shell of Lord Tortoise, the incarnation of Godhead, became the resting place, pivot, of the hill in the seawater. Danvandaram dadashamam trayodashamam evacha apayayatcharananyan mohinya mohayan striya. In the 12th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Dhanvantari, and in the 13th he allured the atheist by the charming beauty of a woman and gave nectar to the demigods to drink. Chaturdasham narasimham bibhrandaityendram urjitam dadara karajar urav erakam katakridyata. In the 14th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Nrsimha and bifurcated the strong body of the atheist Hiranyakashipu with his nails, just as a carpenter pierces cane. Panchadasham vamanakam kritvagad advaram bale padatrayam yachamana pratyaditsu stripishtapam. In the 15th incarnation, the Lord assumed the form of a dwarf Brahmana, Vamana, and visited the arena of sacrifice arranged by Maharaj Bali. Although at heart he was willing to regain the kingdom of the 3 planetary systems, he simply asked for a donation of 3 steps of land. Purport. The Almighty God can bestow upon anyone the kingdom of the universe from a very small beginning. And similarly, he can take away the kingdom of the universe on the plea of begging a small piece of land. Avatari sardashame pashan brahmadruho nrapan trisapta kritavakupito nikshatram akaron mahim. In the 16th incarnation of the Godhead, the Lord, as Bhrigupati, annihilated the administrative class, Kshatriyas, 21 times, being angry with them because of their rebellion against the Brahmanas, the intelligent class. Purport. The Kshatriyas, or the administrative class of men, are expected to rule the planet by the direction of the intelligent class of men, who give direction to the rulers in terms of the standard Shastras, or the books of revealed knowledge. The rulers carry on the administration according to that direction, Whenever there is disobedience on the part of the Kshatriyas or the administrative class against the orders of the learned and intelligent Brahmanas, the administrators are removed by force from the posts. An arrangement is made for better administration. Tata saptarase jata satyavatyam parasharat chakriveda taro shaka dashvapungshalpamedasah. Thereafter, in the 17th incarnation of Godhead, Sri Vyasadeva appeared in the womb of Satyavati through Parashar Muni, and he divided the one Veda into several branches and sub-branches, seeing that the people in general were less intelligent. Purport. Originally, the Veda is one, but Srila Vyasadeva divided the original Veda into four, namely Sama, Yajur, Rig, Atharva, and then again they were explained in different branches like the Puranas and the Mahabharata. Vedic language and the subject matter are very difficult for ordinary men. They are understood by the highly intelligent and self-realized Brahmanas. But the present age of Kali is full of ignorant men. Even those who are born by a Brahmin father are, in the present age, no better than the Shudras or the women. The twice-born men, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, are expected to undergo a cultural purificatory process known as sanskaras, but because of the bad influence of the present age, the so-called members of the Brahmana and other high-order families are no longer highly cultured. They are called the Dvija Bandhus, or the friends and family members of the twice-born. But these Dvija Bandhus are classified amongst the Shudras and the women. Srila Vyasadeva divided the Vedas into various branches and sub-branches for the sake of the less intelligent classes like the Dvija Bandhus, Shudras, and women. Text 22. Naradevatvamapana sharakarya chikirshaya samudha nigrahadini takre virayanyata param. In the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared as King Rama. In order to perform some pleasing work for the demigods, he exhibited superhuman powers by controlling the Indian Ocean and then killing the atheist king Ravana, who was on the other side of the sea. Purport. The personality of Godhead, Sri Rama, assumed the form of a human being and appeared on the earth for the purpose of doing some pleasing work for the demigods or the administrative personalities to maintain the order of the universe. Sometimes great demons and atheists like Ravana and Hiranyakashipu and many others become very famous due to advancing material civilization by the help of material science and other activities with a spirit of challenging the established order of the Lord. For example, the attempt to fly to other planets by material means is a challenge to the established order. The conditions of each and every planet are different, and different classes of human beings are accommodated there for particular purposes mentioned in the codes of the Lord. But, puffed up by tiny success and material advancement, sometimes the godless materialists challenge the existence of God. Ravana was one of them, and he wanted to deport ordinary men to the planet of Indra, heaven, by material means without consideration of the necessary qualifications. He wanted a staircase to be built up directly reaching the heavenly planet so that people might not be required to undergo the routine of pious work necessary to enter that planet. He also wanted to perform other acts against the established rule of the Lord. He even challenged the authority of Sri Rama, the personality of Godhead, and kidnapped his wife, Sita. Of course, Lord Ram came to chastise this atheist, answering the prayer and desire of the demigods. He therefore took up the challenge of Ravana, and the complete activity is the subject matter of the Ramayana. Because Lord Ramachandra was the personality of Godhead, he exhibited superhuman activities which no human being, including the materially advanced Ravana, could perform. Lord Ramachandra prepared a royal road in the Indian Ocean with stones that floated on the water. The modern scientists have done research in the area of weightlessness, but it is not possible to bring in weightlessness anywhere and everywhere. But because weightlessness is the creation of the Lord, by which he can make the gigantic planets fly and float in the air, he made the stones even within this earth to be weightless and prepared a stone bridge on the sea without any supporting pillar. That is the display of the power of God. And in case anybody doesn't know, you can actually still see this. You can actually see it from Google Maps, from India to Sri Lanka.
And scientists also discovered that there were like sand formations at the bottom of the ocean that indicate that there was a stone bridge connecting formerly known as Lanka to India.
There you have it, scientifically proven.
Sorry to cut you off.
No problem. But yeah, it's actually pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Can you even
it's
see it?
amazing, Prabhuji. This is what we were talking about last night, and
Yeah,
it came up directly today in the reading.
yeah, that is true.
We were just discussing this, Jay.
Yeah, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I've been talking about this topic a lot lately. For the last week or so, I've been kind of nerding out on, whatever, ancient discoveries on planet Earth and connecting them into, Bhagavatam, megalithic structures, things like that. Yeah, nice point, Prabhuji. Okay. Ekanavingshe vingshatim me Vrishnishu prapya janmani Ramakrishna viti bhuvo Bhagavan haradbharam. In the 19th and 20th incarnations, the Lord advented himself as Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna in the family of Vrishni, the Yadu dynasty. And by so doing, he removed the burden of the world. Purport. The specific mention of the word Bhagavan in this text indicates that Balaram and Krishna are original forms of the Lord. This will be further explained later. Lord Krishna is not an incarnation of the Purusha, as we learn from the beginning of this chapter. He is directly the original personality of Godhead, and Balaram is the first plenary manifestation of the Lord. From Baladev, the first phalanx of plenary expansions, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna expands. Lord Sri Krishna is Vasudev and Baladev is Sankarshan. Verse 24. Tatakalo sampravritte samohaya shuradvisham Udhonam nanjana sutta kikateshu bhavishyati. Then in the beginning of Kali Yuga, the Lord will appear as Lord Buddha, the son of Anjana, in the province of Gaya, just for the purpose of deluding those who are envious of the faithful theists. Purport. Lord Buddha, a powerful incarnation of the personality of Godhead, appeared in the province of Gaya, Bihar, as the son of Anjana. And he preached his own conception of nonviolence and deprecated even the animal sacrifices sanctioned in the Vedas. At the time when Lord Buddha appeared, the people in general were atheistic and preferred animal flesh to anything else. On the plea of Vedic sacrifice, every place was practically turned into a slaughterhouse, and animal killing was indulged in unrestrictedly. Lord Buddha preached nonviolence, taking pity on the poor animals. He preached that he did not believe in the tenets of the Vedas and stressed the adverse psychological effects incurred by animal killing. Less intelligent men of the age of Kali who had no faith in God followed this principle, and for the time being they were trained in moral discipline and nonviolence, the preliminary steps for proceeding further on the path of God realization. He deluded the atheists because such atheists who followed his principles did not believe in God, but they kept their absolute faith in Lord Buddha, who himself was the incarnation of God. Thus the faithless people were made to believe in God in the form of Lord Buddha. That was the mercy of Lord Buddha. He made the faithless faithful to him. Killing of animals, before the advent of Lord Buddha, was the most prominent feature of the society. People claim that these were Vedic sacrifices. When the Vedas are not accepted through the authoritative disciplic succession, the casual readers of the Vedas are misled by the flowery language of that system of knowledge. In the Bhagavad Gita, a comment has been made on such foolish scholars, avipaschitaha. The foolish scholars of Vedic literature who do not care to receive the transcendental message through the transcendental realized sources of disciplic succession are sure to be bewildered. To them, the ritualistic ceremonies are considered to be all in all. They have no depth of knowledge. According to the Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Vedaisya sarvaraham eva vedyaha. The whole system of the Vedas is to lead one gradually to the path of the Supreme Lord. The whole theme of Vedic literature is to know the Supreme Lord, the individual soul, the cosmic situation, and the relation between all these items. When the relation is known, the relative function begins, and as a result of such a function, the ultimate goal of life, or going back to Godhead, takes place in the easiest manner. Unfortunately, I'll read that again. When the relation is known, the relative function begins, and as a result of such a function, the ultimate goal of life, or going back to Godhead, takes place in the easiest manner. Unfortunately, unauthorized scholars of the Vedas become captivated by the purificatory ceremonies only, and natural progress is thereby checked. To such bewildered persons of atheistic propensity, Lord Buddha is the emblem of theism. He therefore first of all wanted to check the habit of animal killing. The animal killers are dangerous elements on the path going back to Godhead. There are two types of animal killers. The soul is also sometimes called the animal, or the living being. Therefore, both the slaughterer of animals and those who have lost their identity of soul are animal killers. Maharaj Parikshit said that only the animal killer cannot relish the transcendental message of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, if people are to be educated on the path of Godhead, they must be taught first and foremost to stop the process of animal killing as above mentioned. It is nonsensical to say that animal killing has nothing to do with spiritual realization. By this dangerous theory, many so-called sannyasis have sprung up by the grace of Kali Yuga, who preach animal killing under the garb of the Vedas. The subject matter has already been discussed in the conversation between Lord Chaitanya and Maulana Chand Kazi Sahib. The animal sacrifice, as stated in the Vedas, is different from the unrestricted animal killing in the slaughterhouse. Because the Ashuras, or the so-called scholars of Vedic literatures, put forward the evidence of animal killing in the Vedas, Lord Buddha superficially denied the authority of the Vedas. This rejection of the Vedas by Lord Buddha was adopted in order to save people from the vice of animal killing, as well as to save the poor animals from the slaughtering process of their big brothers, who clamor for universal brotherhood, peace, justice, and equity. There is no justice when there is animal killing. Lord Buddha wanted to stop it completely, and therefore his cult of ahimsa was propagated not only in India but also outside the country. Technically, Lord Buddha's philosophy is called atheistic because there is no acceptance of the Supreme Lord, and because that system of philosophy denied the authority of the Vedas. But that is an act of camouflage by the Lord. Lord Buddha is the incarnation of Godhead. As such, he is the original propounder of Vedic knowledge. He therefore cannot reject Vedic philosophy. But he rejected it outwardly because the Shuradvisha, or the demons who are always envious of the devotees of Godhead, try to support cow killing or animal killing from the pages of the Vedas. And this is now being done by the modernized sannyasis. Lord Buddha had to reject the authority of the Vedas altogether. This is simply technical, and had it not been so, he would not have been so accepted as the incarnation of Godhead. Nor would he have been worshipped in the transcendental songs of the poet Jayadev, who is a Vaishnavacharya. Lord Buddha preached the preliminary principles of the Vedas in a manner suitable for the time being. and so also did Shankaracharya, to establish the authority of the Vedas. Therefore, both Lord Buddha and Acharya Shankar paved the path of theism, and Vaishnava Acharyas, specifically Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, led the people on the path towards a realization of going back to Godhead. We are glad that people are taking interest in the nonviolent movement of Lord Buddha. But will they take the matter very seriously and close the animal slaughterhouses altogether? If not, there is no meaning to the Ahimsa cult. Srimad Bhagavatam was composed just prior to the beginning of the age of Kali, about 5,000 years ago. And Lord Buddha appeared about 2,600 years ago. Therefore, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Buddha is foretold. Such is the authority of this clear scripture. There are many such prophecies, and they are being fulfilled one after another. They will indicate the positive standing of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is without trace of mistake, illusion, cheating, and imperfection, which are the four flaws of all conditioned souls. The liberated souls are above these flaws, therefore they can see and foretell things which are to take place on distant future dates. All right, Krishna. Any comments, questions, reflections on that last, or anything we read so far, but especially that last one? It was a nice long purport about Buddha and Krishna consciousness. Everything is clear? All right.
Yes, it's nice to hear. And I'm just sharing my own personal experience. Prabhuji was before coming to Mahamantra, Om Mani Padme Hum was like a primary factor for my mantra practice. Om in general and vegetarianism and this type of thing. It's nice to hear it described this way in Bhagavatam.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming full circle.
Yeah, and like paving the road in that way too. Must.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear, one thing that was coming to me while hearing it was, this purport, was, Krishna comes as Lord Buddha, and because of the circumstance, Krishna comes as Lord Buddha and rejects the Vedas. So, I was just thinking of this like being like in a progressive mood, according to time, place, and circumstance, how to apply the principles and to have sensitivity and understanding of where people are and how to guide them or, instruct them according to where they're at, according to the time, place, and circumstance in Krishna consciousness. So, it might seem insane, actually, to some people that Krishna could come and preach against the Vedas, basically. But according to what we just heard, that's what he did in the form of Lord Buddha. So anyway, that was just a simple point that I was appreciating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Keep going, unless there's anything else. Please feel free. Okay, text 25. Atausa yuga sanyayam dasyu prayeshu rajashu janata vishnu yashaso namna kalakir jagat patihi. Thereafter, at the conjunction of two yugas, the Lord of the creation will take his birth as the Kalki incarnation and become the son of Vishnu Yasha. At this time, the rulers of the earth will have degenerated into plunderers. Purport. Here's another foretelling of the advent of Lord Kalki, the incarnation of Godhead. He is to appear at the conjunction of the two yugas, namely at the end of Kali Yuga and the beginning of Satya Yuga. The cycle of the four yugas, namely Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali, rotates like the calendar months. The present Kali Yuga lasts 432,000 years, out of which we have passed only 5,000 years after the battle of Kurukshetra and the end of the regime of King Parikshit. So there are 427,000 years balance yet to be finished. Therefore, at the end of this period, the incarnation of Kalki will take place, as foretold in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The name of his father, Vishnu Yasha, a learned Brahmana, and the village Shambhala are also mentioned. As above mentioned, all these foretellings will prove to be factual in chronological order. That is the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 26. Avataraya Sankheya Hare Sattva Nidhir Dvijaha Ita Vidasina Kulya Sharasa Syusahasrashaha. O Brahmanas, the incarnations of the Lord are innumerable like rivulets flowing from inexhaustible sources of water. Purport. The list of incarnations of the personality of Godhead given herein is not complete. It is only a partial view of all the incarnations. There are many others, such as Sri Hayagriva, Hari, Hamsa, Prishnigarbha, Vibhu, Satyasena, Vaikunta, Sarvabhauma, Visvakshena, Dharmasetu, Sudama, Yogeshwara, Brihadbanu, and others of the bygone ages. Sri Prahlad Maharaj said in his prayer, "My Lord, you manifest as many incarnations as there are species of life, namely the aquatics, the vegetables, the reptiles, the birds, the beasts, the men, the demigods, and so on." Just for the maintenance of the faithful and the annihilation of the unfaithful. You advent yourself in this way in accordance with the necessity of the different yugas. In the Kali Yuga, you have incarnated garbed as a devotee. This incarnation of the Lord in the Kali Yuga is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many other places, both in the Bhagavatam and in other scriptures, in which the incarnation of the Lord as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explicitly mentioned. In the Brahma Samhita also it is said indirectly that although there are many incarnations of the Lord, such as Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, and many others, the Lord himself sometimes incarnates in person. Lord Krishna and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are not, therefore, incarnations, but the original source of all other incarnations. This will be clearly explained in the next shloka. So the Lord is the inexhaustible source for innumerable incarnations which are not always mentioned. But such incarnations are distinguished by specific extraordinary feats which are impossible to be performed by any living being. That is the general test to identify an incarnation of the Lord, directly and indirectly empowered. Some incarnations mentioned above are almost plenary portions. For instance, the Kumaras are empowered with transcendental knowledge. Sri Narada is empowered with devotional service. Mars Prithu is an empowered incarnation with executive function. The Matsya incarnation is directly a plenary portion. So the innumerable incarnations of the Lord are manifested all over the universes constantly, without cessation, as water flows constantly from waterfalls. Wow. Rishaya Manavo Deva Manuputra Mahajasa.
Can I ask something real quick?
Yes, you can.
So that what kind of empowered incarnation is Srila Prabhupada?
Well, as far as I've heard, he may be classified as Shaktivesh avatar.
So, like I thought that that's what all these I thought that all these other incarnations were also Shakti-ish. I might be
No,
confused.
no, 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 no. These are not Shaktivesh.
Okay.
These are, well, we heard in a purport, I think maybe it was yesterday we read, I don't think you were there, where there's Leela avatars, Guna avatars, Purusha avatars, these different avatars.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
these ones that we're hearing about particularly today are like more Leela avatars. We heard about Purusha and Guna avatars yesterday. A Shaktivesh avatar is an empowered personality sent by God
Mm,
to do a particular purpose. Like Jesus is, Prabhupada said he's considered like a Shaktivesh avatar.
okay.
And as far as I have understood, um, it's not, I can't be 100% clear because there's this pastime I've heard where um, I think somebody asked Srila Prabhupada like who he is like in the spiritual world, and he said like if I told you you'd faint. So that was the answer. So I don't really know, but my understanding is that Shaktivesh Avatar means not God, but sent by God.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jay Prabhuji, that's definitely my understanding of it as well. That maybe even they are like so directly connected, they've been in spiritual world and then they're asked to go for like specific purpose,
Right,
part and parcel
Right.
coming back, you know.
right. Yes.
Thank you, Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Jai Prabhupada.
Yay.
Whew. I'll read another one. Vishaya Manavo Deva Manuputra Mahajashaha Kala Sarve Harer Eva Saprajapataya Smrtaha. All the rishis, manus, demigods, and descendants of Manu, who are especially powerful, are plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. This also includes the Prajapatis. Purport. Those who are comparatively less powerful are called Vibhuti, and those who are comparatively more powerful are called Avesh incarnations. Before I go on to the next one, I'm surprised nobody asked about this in the previous, in the longer, text 26. We heard that Sri Prahlad Maharaj said in his prayer, "My Lord, you manifest as many incarnations as there are species of life, namely the aquatics, the vegetables, the reptiles, the birds, the beasts, the men, the demigods, and so on, just for the maintenance of the faithful and the annihilation of the unfaithful." And I always remember, this part always hits me funny, like, vegetables is listed as a species of life. Of course, we know vegetable plants are alive. But why would he say vegetables? And then the question may be asked, does the Lord have a vegetable incarnation of himself in vegetable society? Does anybody know the answer? Aquatics, also, because I've heard, typically, we hear that animal forms don't have the capacity to, understand. It's not like we see like dolphins, coming together and having making churches underwater, or like coming together and having spiritual understanding, discussions and whatnot. So it's an interesting topic here. Dr. Adam, are you going to say something? I think you.
I was thinking of just denoting how wonderful that is. Um, didn't
Yeah,
know how to say it.
yeah. But all this knowledge can be revealed to you just by chanting Hare Krishna. Isn't that amazing? If Krishna sees necessary, he can reveal this. But this is something that always has invoked my wonder, personally. Hare Krishna. I don't have the answer.
Hare Krishna, I have one thing to plug in here, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know of the vegetables, but of Srimati Radharani, I believe her favorite fruit is the plum. you know. So anyways, it's like maybe the plum tree. Yeah. But if Krishna is part and parcel of all of these things, it's like,
Well, it's an interesting point. I think, like when you said that, I'm thinking of how I've also heard like the peacock, the bird, the peacock, like is from the spiritual world. It's not really an earthly bird. Um, you kind of bringing up plums does kind of bring into like a similar question or a similar dynamic of, something like that, basically. I don't really know, but that's just what I thought when I heard you say that. The vegetable species. All right. Let me see here. Real long one. All right. Well, this is probably gonna be the last one. Text 28. Ete chang shakala pungsha Krishnastu bhagavan swayam Indrari vyakulam lokam mridayanti yuge yuge. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. Purport. In this particular stanza, Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is distinguished from other incarnations. He is counted amongst the avatars, incarnations, because out of his causeless mercy the Lord descends from his transcendental abode. Avatar means one who descends. All the incarnations of the Lord, including the Lord himself, descend on the different planets of the material world, as also in different species of life to fulfill particular missions. Sometimes he comes himself, and sometimes his different plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, or as differentiated portions, directly or indirectly empowered by him, descend on this material world to execute certain specific functions. Originally, the Lord is full of all opulences, all prowess, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. When they are partly manifested through the plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, it should be noted that certain manifestations of his different powers are required for those particular functions. When in the room small electric bulbs are displayed, it does not mean that the electric powerhouse is limited by the small bulbs. The same powerhouse can supply power to operate large-scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnations of the Lord display limited powers because so much power is needed at that particular time. For example, Lord Purushottama and Lord Nrsimha displayed unusual opulence by killing the disobedient Kshatriyas 21 times and killing the greatly powerful atheist Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu is so powerful that even the demigods and other planets would tremble simply by the unfavorable raising of his eyebrow. The demigods in the higher level of material existence many, many times excel the most well-to-do human beings in duration of life, beauty, wealth, paraphernalia, and in all other respects. Still, they were afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Thus, we can simply imagine how powerful Hiranyakashipu was in this material world. But even Hiranyakashipu was cut into small pieces by the nails of Lord Nrsimha. This means that anyone materially powerful cannot stand the strength of the Lord's nails. Similarly, Jamodagnya displayed the Lord's power to kill all the disobedient kings powerfully situated in their respective states. The Lord's empowered incarnation Narada and plenary incarnation Varaha, as well as directly empowered Lord Buddha, created faith in the mass of people. The incarnations of Rama and Dhanvantari displayed his fame, and Balaram Mohini and Vamana exhibited his beauty. Dattatreya, Matsya, Kumara, and Kapila exhibited his transcendental knowledge. Nara and Narayan rishis exhibited his renunciation. So all the different incarnations of the Lord indirectly or directly manifested different features. But Lord Krishna, the primeval Lord, exhibited the complete features of Godhead. And thus it is confirmed that he is the source of all other incarnations. And the most extraordinary feature exhibited by Lord Sri Krishna was his internal, energetic manifestation of his pastimes with the cowherd girls. His pastimes with the gopis are all displays of transcendental existence, bliss, and knowledge, although these are manifested apparently as sex love. The specific attraction of his pastimes with the gopis should never be misunderstood. The Bhagavatam relates these transcendental pastimes in the 10th canto. And in order to reach the position to understand the transcendental nature of Lord Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, the Bhagavatam promotes the student gradually in 9 other cantos. According to Srila Jiva Goswami's statement, in accordance with authoritative sources, Lord Krishna is the source of all other incarnations. It is not that Lord Krishna has any source of incarnation. All the symptoms of the supreme truth are present in the person of Lord Sri Krishna. And in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord emphatically declares that there is no truth greater than or equal to himself. In this stanza, the word Swayam is particularly mentioned to confirm that Lord Krishna has no other source than himself. Although in other places the incarnations are described as Bhagawan because of their specific functions, nowhere are they declared to be the Supreme Personality. In this stanza, the word Swayam signifies the supremacy as the Summum Bonum. The Summum Bonum is Krishna is one without a second. He himself has expanded himself in various parts, portions, and particles as Swayam Rupa, Swayam Prakash, Tadekatma, Prabhava, Vaibhava, Vilas, Avatar, Avesh, and Jivas, all provided with innumerable energies just suitable to the respective persons and personalities. Learned scholars in transcendental subjects have carefully analyzed the Summum Bonum Krishna to have 64 principal attributes. All the expansions or categories of the Lord possess only some percentages of these attributes. But Sri Krishna is the possessor of the attributes %, and his personal expansions such as Swayam Prakash and Tadekatma, up to the categories of the avatars who are all Vishnu Tattva, possess up to 93% of these transcendental attributes. Lord Shiva, who is neither avatar nor Avesh, nor in between them, possesses almost 84% of the attributes. But the jivas, or the individual living beings in different statuses of life, possess up to the limit of 78% of the attributes. In the conditioned state of material existence, the living being possesses these attributes in every minute quantity, varying in terms of the pious life of the living being. The most perfect of living beings is Brahma, the supreme administrator of one universe. He possesses 78% of the attributes in full. All other demigods have the same attributes in less quantity, whereas human beings possess the attributes in very minute quantity. The standard of perfection for a human being is to develop the attributes up to 78% in full. The living being can never possess attributes like Shiva, Vishnu, or Lord Krishna. A living being can become godly by developing the 78% transcendental attributes in fullness, but he can never become a god like Shiva, Vishnu, or Krishna. He can become a Brahma in due course. The godly living beings, who are all residents of the planets in the spiritual sky, are eternal associates of God in different spiritual planets called Hari Dham and Mahesh Dham. The abode of Lord Krishna above all spiritual planets is called Krishna Loka or Goloka Vrindavan. And the perfected living being, by developing 78% of the above attributes in fullness, can enter the planet of Krishna Loka after leaving the present material body. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Alright, now we have some time for final discussion points. Questions, comments, realizations.
I wanted to say one thing. Prabhupada once did disclose, and Malati was there, that he is a cowherd boy.
Did he? Okay, yeah, I don't know anything about this, so I don't know. I may have heard it, but I can't remember it. Very nice. Still, still the Shakti-Vish concept still can apply, right? Hare Krishna. Any other points? It's nice to hear, and it's a lot. And this section's very nice. Hearing, how, basically like structurally, we're hearing like the structure of the universe, but also, like the structure of the Lord and how he expands himself and in what ways, which is nice. And it's so nice to hear also the details of the different forms. I talk about this a lot, but now I've got some confirmation about Vishnu Tattvas have up to 93% of Krishna's qualities. Shiva Tattva has, he said, almost up to 84%. And in the Jiva Tattvas, up to 78% of the Lord's qualities. But only Krishna has all of Krishna's qualities. And actually, Krishna is the only form of the Lord who is in Shastra directly stated to be the summum bonum, or the cause of all causes and the source of all other incarnations. Like we heard, Prabhupada said, different forms of the Lord may be referred to as Bhagavan, which we understand to mean like Supreme Person or the Supreme, But he said directly that they're referred to as Bhagavan because of the magnificent feats that they may do, that only God could do, but they are not ever referred to as the supreme cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. Only Krishna is. So it's just amazing to hear. Wow. And so much knowledge about different incarnations, different forms, what they did, the whole pastimes, and to have everything presented in such a holistic way is so nice and refreshing. Hare Krishna. Anybody like to share anything more? So, if not, then we can call it a day. It's after 8 o'clock. Getting past my bedtime here. We had a really nice Sunday program. Devotees came. Few, but very nice. Several devotees. And one Mataji came who, she may have made literally the best cookies in the world. But she also played mridanga. And so we had a nice kirtan, kartal play, several kartal players, mridanga, harmonium. And everybody was having fun. Anyway, Hare Krishna. So, all right. Well, if nobody, Bhakti, you want to share anything?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay.
Um, uh,
I'm gonna
just
grab my water. You can go keep sharing. I'm just gonna grab my water. So
all right.
I'm gonna hear you still.
You're gonna hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to say to PK, it's just a small thing. My cartels are gonna be here by the 19th, according to Etsy, or no, by the 13th, according to Etsy.
Very nice.
So I'll be playing cartels. I'm gonna try to do kirtan in my apartment complex somewhere. See if people want to do it.
You're gonna start a revolution
I don't
there.
know, maybe that's a bad idea. Uh, maybe it's a bad idea. I don't know, but I'm gonna try it.
You know, we don't wanna we don't wanna agitate anybody, but it's always a good idea. Get out and chant. You never know. You might find out that you have like devotees living right next to you that you didn't even know that was there.
An Indian man I never seen before. I don't remember ever seeing in my apartment complex. He was driving by me while I was chanting the India complex, and he just says Hare Krishna. I was like, wow, I didn't know you existed.
Very nice. Maybe you could come
Yeah,
for a visit sometime. Do some kirtan.
yeah, yeah. I'd like to.
Maybe we need to come bring the mridanga to your apartment complex.
That would be cool, but it's okay if you don't want to, because that's expensive. From himself, what could be more priceless?
Yeah, maybe. Hare Krishna. Well, all right then.
Hare Krishna. Thank you again, Prabhuji, for reading.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Bhakti Madam, your inputs and everything. Wishing well to all.
Adibo, you're the best, Kala. I'm always thinking about Kala is the like invisible like progenitor for the motivation I have to be compassionate to other beings. Have you ever felt like that? That's an interesting way to put it. It's true.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Here I am. Uh, happy everyone chanting, being happy, and I'm very happy to listen to Srimad Bhagavatam and be a part of this with everyone. Yeah.
Awesome. Jay.
I'm very grateful you're here, Prabhuji.
Mm.
All right. And thank you again, Aruna Lochana Prabhu, for tuning in. So nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you,
Hare Krishna. Are you back at home now?
Krishna. Yeah, we're back home. We got home Friday night.
Very nice.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
a,
it was
that was a
nice.
cool trip.
It was a whirlwind, that's for sure. All the different festivals Agni Dave was taking us to, all the different people we met, man, it was a trip, that's for sure.
Oh man, I can imagine. It's almost like going to India.
Oh, the people that surround Agni and just love that guy to death. I mean, we love him so much, but we get spoiled because we get him every single day. And so to see other people's interactions with him was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of expand. You can see another side of him too.
Yeah. Well, we got to meet great people like you and all the people at New Vrindavan. I mean, it was awesome. I'm glad to be home, but it was just amazing.
Very awesome. Yeah, it was also so nice meeting you. And who knows? We'll meet again. I might end up over there someday. I plan on doing a little more traveling around. Might end up in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. We would definitely like to see you. pick you up, host you here for as long as you want to stay.
Thank you so much. I may take you up on it.
Yeah, I hope you do.
But yeah, Prabhuji, really appreciate having you. And if there's any way we can serve, don't hesitate. And yeah, thank you again for tuning in. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you more here. And yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, I look forward to it.
Jai Prabhuji. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the call now. Let me hit this thing right here.